Welcome to Woo New, a show that explores healing and the expansion of our consciousness.
Where we explore all kinds of different energy modalities, therapies, and ideas that bring us closer to our collective liberation.
I'm Ellen, and I'm a journey work guide.
I'm Sam, and I am an integrative energy therapist.
And together, we are the co-creators of We Are All Daughters,
a quantum healing space dedicated to helping us reconnect to ourselves, our bodies, each other, and the universe.
Today, we're sitting here with Bee Chan. She is a community builder, a mental health advocate, and personal growth enthusiast. And she's also the creator of the Liberated Leader podcast, where interesting conversations with leaders in psychedelic spaces are held. She's also the co-founder of Sisters in Psychedelics, which is a growing sisterhood of educators and advocates of intentional psychedelic use from all walks of life. She's also the founder of Akita, Kick in the Ass Agency, which is the first and only consultancy that specializes in helping female psychedelic coaches. This all just speaks so much to my heart, and I know it speaks to Sam's heart. We're just so excited to be with you and just to hear about your journey into all this work and into this service. So just thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with us and just being here with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm super, super honored and privileged to be here and to share my story and hopefully inspire some people along the way.
Yeah.
Yay.
When I was looking over your work, I was so blown away because I was just like, wow.
Oh, thank you.
Wow, like what a way to follow the calling, right? Just you have brought so many incredible things, creations to share with the world. And it's just like, especially in the space that you're doing it in, which is really profound around business.
Yeah. That's what I find so fascinating too, because I think we've talked to a lot of different people who are either in the like content creation space or in the healing space. And business is such an important piece of it, you know, that I don't think it sometimes kind of gets glossed over or vilified in some ways too, you know? And so I would love to just open it up and, you know, maybe we can start even in the beginning of where you even started to feel this nudge or this calling to step into service in this way.
Yeah. I don't even know where to start.
It's such a good question.
I guess right? Yeah, it totally is. I guess I'll start from the very beginning, and this will include before I came into the whole psychedelic space. So prior to pivoting into entrepreneurship, I had a corporate career in HR for 7 years, and I don't know, just didn't feel very happy climbing the corporate ladder and chasing things that society was telling me would make me happy. And so one day I just quit my job and I bought a one-way ticket to Thailand in Asia. And that was almost 4 years ago. And in the last 4 years, I was just, you know, traveling the world, trying to rediscover myself, discovering my own roots, my family history, my culture, where I came from. And I stumbled upon plant medicine. My actually first ceremony was in Thailand by my good friend Max Honey, who did a combo ceremony with me. And we also did rape and sanaga. So that was my first entry into it. And the more of that foyer that I explored, the more I was nudged to basically think about what I'm doing right now. And by that time, I've pivoted into marketing, specifically funnel building. And I was working with some pretty brilliant entrepreneurs, and I started freelancing or moonlighting my services on the side to other entrepreneurs. And I realized that I kind of fell into the same pattern as I did before in my corporate life, which was I was serving the people who, sure, were friends of mine, but they were already like wealthy, for lack of better word. It's like I wasn't impacting the world. I wasn't changing their lives. It was just more of the same. And so COVID hit and I found myself back home in Vancouver, Canada. And I was just itching to leave again, because after 3 years in Asia, I'm like, no, I don't really want to go back to boring and cold. And so I flew down to Mexico, because that was like one of the only countries that didn't have a quarantine or like a test requirement. And I was with my friends, and that's when I really dived deeper into sacred plant ceremony. So I had my first ayahuasca ceremony, I had my first 5-AMO DMT. I was hanging out with people who were very spiritually open and curious, and who were teaching me about that world. And the more, mushrooms and acid and, cannabis and all that I was doing, the more I realized, hey, like, I have this superpower, and I'm not very satisfied with the type of people that I'm helping. Maybe I should pivot into this space and help the people in here, because the part of the psychedelic ecosystem that I was introduced to at that time was really all the frontline workers. So these are like the shamans and the psychedelic coaches and therapists and guides and trip sitters. And all I thought about was, they're not very business savvy. Like, they're not very business savvy. They're not very tech savvy. Like, I think they need help in this area. And I think I can do that for them, because I'm part of their equation. Like, I'm the type of person that goes to ceremony. I'm the type of person that goes to counseling and therapy. And I'm such a strong advocate and like a real example, doing the work myself on my mental health, that like, I get what they're trying to introduce to the world out there. I get the type of profile that they're trying to go after. And that's essentially how Akita was, I guess, reborn literally just a year ago. Like, we launched in June of 2021.
Wow.
Yeah. And I knew nobody in that space, like, had zero community or connection.
Wow. Wait, not to divert from the story of your journey, because I'm so fascinated. I have so many questions. But first, most importantly, I'm so fascinated about what it was like for you to work with DMT.
Yes. So working with 5, I've only done it twice, because it's so powerful.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, the first time I did it, I was nervous. I was kind of scared, didn't know what to expect. And a French couple who's been serving in Europe and America for like the last, I think, at least decade or so, I got in touch with them, and they were my medicine servers. And it was a very private ceremony. And I really didn't know what I was expecting, but how it turned out was just a really interesting time, a short time, where I got to be in touch with myself, because I thought it was going to be more of like an external experience, where like I'm seeing things or messages are coming and whatnot, which is what Aya is like. But with the 5, it's definitely just you by yourself with your own thoughts, and like, yeah, channeling you.
Wow.
Yeah. I came out of that actually pretty disappointed, because I thought, like, the whole point was like, oh, I want to achieve ego death. I want ego dissolution. And I didn't realize at that time that I did achieve it, because I know reference
I was going to say, it sounds like that's exactly what you got.
yeah, exactly. Like, literally, she served it to me in a vape. I inhaled. 5 seconds later, I slumped along on the ground. My body melted into the whole entire earth. But in my mind, I was still having conversations with myself. I was like debating with myself, is this ego death? No, I don't think so. Because if it is, I still think, like, how can I still talk to him? No, it's not that. It's not. So like, the whole time I basically ruined my whole experience by having these, internal debates. It wasn't until afterwards I went back home and I was actually Googling, researching, what does ego death feel like, that I realized, oh, I did do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, going back to Thailand too, I'm so curious if you could like bring us back into the mental and emotional space that you were in, where you decided that you wanted to try combo for the first time, or it sounds like that was your first entheogenic or psychedelic medicine.
Yeah, definitely. I think maybe a year prior to me trying, for some reason, ayahuasca got super, super popular at that time. And all my friends were talking about it, but I still had my fears and my reservations, because well, I don't know anything about this. Like, what's going to happen? Like, I'm definitely somebody who's trained to be a lot more left-brained and process-oriented and detailed, right, by society. And so I wanted all those answers, but I wasn't able to get it. And so a friend of mine actually went to Max, and she did her combo ceremony with him, and she was telling me everything that happened there. And so with her kind of recommendation, her testimonial, and then me also connecting with Max directly, I felt really safe with him. And so my friend and I went for a private ceremony. I also like that too, the smaller groups. And I again didn't know what to expect, but I'm like, hey, I'm open. I'm ready to surrender. And I just want to like experience this. And at that point, I haven't done any psychedelics, so I really didn't know what to expect. But I have to say, like, combo, it's not a psychedelic, right? I think it's in a category of its own, and your mind's not wandering. You're fully present in that ceremony. Like, what I would say it is, it's a total physical reset for your immune system and for your body. And so for those who don't know, combo is from the Brazilian tree frog, and it's like poison from their skin that they take, and basically they burn holes in your skin and they put the poison in your skin so that it can go into your system. And all I remember is the poison coursing through my veins and going into my blood and making my whole entire body super, super, super hot, because at that time your body is just trying to fight off the poison. And as it's doing that, it's actually flushing out all like the little bacterial infections or whatever illnesses that you have. So yeah, there's been studies, by hearsay, there's been studies that it has helped with like irritable bowel syndrome, or like depression, or even Lyme disease and things like that. And so during that process of when your body's flushing it out, you are purging. So a lot of stuff will come out of you, either through throwing up or the other way, or you're sweating it out, you're shaking, maybe you're making loud sounds, you're just releasing completely.
Wow. Yeah. So it's detoxifying your body, basically.
Yes. Yes. 100%.
I don't think I ever understood that until just now.
Oh, okay.
That's fascinating. It's like not really, I mean, it is a journey, but it sounds like a very somatic kind of journey.
Yeah. It sounds like more like a purge even than
than
a detox.
Oh yes. And the whole time it's like you're there, you're present. And I remember I was like, oh my God, this might be too much for me, but like, there's nothing I could do to detract right now. So I remember Max just telling me, it's like, just breathe, just focus on your breath, count if you need to. And I remember this is the first time ever where my hands tensed up, like they clawed up. I don't know the correct term for that, but like, turned into claws. Technique. And it didn't happen to me again until I was practicing breath work, where I'm just like, oh, it just claws up all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, how long did that ceremony last?
So we did Orape, and then we did combo, and then we did Sanaga. So all together, I would say maybe like 3-4 hours.
Wow. And can you explain what Sanaga is?
Yes. Okay. So I'll start with rapé, and it's basically grounded tobacco with other herbs, and basically the medicine giver will blow it up your nose, and it's supposed to decalcify your pineal gland, and also serve as a grounding to any ceremony that you do. And then Sanaga is also, I believe there is some tobacco in it with other leaves and herbs crushed up, and they add water to it, so it's more of a liquid. The nickname is called lightning to the eyes, and that is what it does. So it's their eye drops, and they drop it in there, and your body just like involuntarily has to thrash around because it stings so much. And the whole purpose of Sanaga is to like sharpen your vision. I don't think I received that benefit.
Are you talking about metaphorical vision, or are you talking about actual
your actual vision? Your actual vision.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's fascinating. This is the first time I've heard of that medicine as well.
Okay.
So your body went through
everything. Yeah, we went through everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First
And
off, I just have
oh,
to say how brave you are
Yeah.
oh.
to enter into this space as your first, you know, like what's
Experience.
known as like a psychedelic experience. You know what I mean? Like, wow. I don't know if I have the guts to do that. That's incredible.
How did you feel afterwards?
I was like, I think I'm good for a lifetime. I'm kidding. So a couple of things. Thank you so much, Ellen, for acknowledging me. I think it really helped that I didn't know Rape and Sanaga were part of the ceremony, and Max offered it to us the morning that we arrived. So we were
Mm,
prepared for like the bigger kind of like main entree, which is combo. But
mm,
then when we got there and he explained to us what it is, we're just like, yeah, sure. Like I'm just open. I'm open to receiving. So let's just go. And my very first episode in season one, episode 2 is with Max Honey. And he talks all about like the Katakina tribe in the Amazon and how he learned how to serve combo and what it is all about. So feel free to check that out for more info.
Yeah.
and that's part of your Liberated Leader podcast. Is that
Yes,
right?
yes, that is.
Oh, I can't wait to
Okay.
listen to that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, why don't we dive into that actually? What inspired you to create this podcast? And when did you actually start it?
I started it last November, so November 2021. And I think I'm just one of those people where I'm like, hey, like I always want to do podcasts. I didn't know what to do it about. And, once I got into the psychedelic realm, having like zero contacts and zero community to lean on, I thought, hey, this would be a great idea for me to, start with the people in my circle and then expand outwards to, connect with more people into space. And so basically all of season 1, I know them all. And then season 2 is kind of when I started reaching out. So we just finished off season 2 right now. And I'm going to take a couple of months of a break before we start up season 3. And it does feel like every season we are reinventing ourselves. So there's either a different
Mm.
theme or we're going in a separate direction or something like that. So it's definitely something still in flow.
Oh, I love that.
I know. I feel like we've been experiencing the same thing with Wu Nu too, where it's just it started out as just like pure just curiosity about alternative healing modalities, and I feel like more and more, I think because Sam and I also have been stepping more fully into this space of medicine work, and especially being stewards of the sacred mushroom, that we're just talking to more and more people like you who are also in this, psychedelic
Mm.
space. I'm curious, like, what has been one of the most, I think, like kind of game changing conversations that you have had so far on the podcast?
Oh, so many, so many. Oh, I mean, I'm just like trying to look at the records I have in my mental hard drive in my brain.
Mm,
Season 1, I think it's episode 5 with Peter Galka. He
mm,
is a psychedelic coach in somewhere in Alberta, Canada.
uh-huh.
And his conversations with him made me realize um, it's also just like more knowledge and expansion of, oh, this is how little I knew about different healing modalities.
Mm,
I didn't
mm,
know something called complex PTSD. I always just thought that it was for veterans who came back from war, right? Because that's
mm.
usually the connotation to it. But no, like almost like very regular or like very commonly, a lot of people suffer from complex PTSD, but we don't even know it ourselves.
Right.
Mm,
Yeah.
mhm.
And even my conversation with Dave Grillot, who is the co-founder of Thank You Plant Medicine, I believe he's one of my later episodes in season 2, and just hearing his story about how his first entrepreneurial adventure didn't quite work out, and then he pivoted into Thank You Plant Medicine, and the entrepreneurship lessons that he's learned and his viewpoints on making money and capitalism and all that type of stuff has shifted. That was super interesting for me too.
Yeah,
Wow.
I bet Ellen and I have experienced so much of that ourselves just on this journey with We Are All Daughters. It's like,
Mm.
God, we're not even the same people we were last month or last year, let alone 4 years ago when we started this. It's like our perspective on all of those things has totally shifted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and I love your brand name, by the way. We are all daughters.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
thank
you.
you. Yeah, Ellen's an incredible creative designer. Like she was our ECD at the agency we worked at in our past lives. So yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a skill that has come in handy. I'd love to kind of rewind back to talk about Akita a little bit more, because I think your insight about these people in the healing space, whether they're shaman or, therapists or facilitators, what have you, not necessarily being the most business savvy people, I think it's so spot on. And, just to share even like where my sort of mental space is, actually it's really everything. It's holistic. I think having been in the marketing space and, kind of cut our teeth in the marketing space, both of us, there was a part of me that felt like I had to kill that off in order to fully step into the facilitator space or the healing space. And I think a lot of it had to do to almost kind of use combo as like a metaphor. I had to like remove the toxicity from my body of the conditioning from those spaces, And so it's so like when I first met you and started talking to you about your background and your drive and just, like fire and passion to help people in the business space, I was so fascinated because I think it's a place where I feel like I've had to do a lot of unlearning and relearning. And so I'm just curious, like, what your experience has been in working with, facilitators and healers in the psychedelic space on the business side of things, and some of the things that you offer for them.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. And just a quick parallel story to yours. It's like after being in HR for 7 years, I totally burnt out. And being in HR, doing a lot of recruitment, LinkedIn was one of the tools that I used on a daily basis. And since I left Canada, I haven't touched it at all for years. And I recently reactivated my profile on there and updated all my information. And because I learned that there's actually quite the network of professionals working in the psychedelic space, and that I'm actually cutting myself off by I guess allowing that limiting belief stay with me. So that unlearning and relearning, I totally resonate with that.
Yeah, I feel like on my journey especially, it's like it's been a space where a lot of my healing focuses definitely had to go. Like I was so deep in it for so long, and then I just had this like 180 and I pulled out of it completely, and now I'm just inching back in timidly. So I think what you're doing is like so powerful, and it's such a gift for anyone in this space, but especially in the psychedelic space. Like it's amazing that, and Ellen and I have had this conversation so many times where, I mean, even something like Instagram, it's like, okay, the important thing is not to discount the benefits of it and to use it with intention and not to allow it to control you, but to use it as a tool, which has been such an important, which sounds so obvious, I know, but is something I have to remind myself of daily.
Totally. Because I think there's still this like kind of a weird energetic charge there, or sort of like a resistance there, from the unlearning, or from the, I got to just get as far away from this as possible. This meaning, business or marketing, So is that the kind of attitude, or is that the kind of like energy that you're also dealing with some of your clients as you're working with them through Akita?
Nice circling back there, Ellen. I like it. And I have to say, yes, like 100%, in a different way though, because I think, us three, we come from a corporate background. We come from, working in businesses and whatnot. So we kind of have that aversion now. However, I think it's really good that we stemmed from there, because we understand how business works. Which is actually, I think, one of the key things that a lot of the people that I've helped lack. So because a lot of them come from a place with, I just want to serve, I just want to help. I don't really care about this business thing. I don't really care about making money.
Yeah, like how do they, like from a perspective of where like the people who need this medicine will find me, there must be like a really interesting intersection there.
Yes, 100%. And kind of like my response to that, to when people, you know, have that message about, you know, them not caring about making money and whatnot, it's like, well, we live in a capitalistic society. It doesn't matter if you believe in it or not, or if you're for it or against it. Like, this is reality, and it's not going to go away tomorrow. So whatever we're doing in this earth, involving psychedelic medicine or not, there needs to be some sort of a reciprocal energy or energetic exchange. And to me, like, money represents energy. It flows, right? It's always in circulation. So a lot of the things that we do at Akita, and some of my most favorite clients is, yes, at the surface we're doing, you know, marketing, design, branding, funnel building and whatnot. But really what we're doing is a lot of therapy work, to be honest. You know, it's like, you know, people are scared to be seen. People, you know, it's still not legal everywhere in the world. It's still very gray, if not like pretty illegal in some places. And a lot of people who are attracted to this type of work, I think there's a bit of, a psychotherapist friend told this to me once before, and I think it makes a great analogy, which is the people who are therapists themselves was attracted to the field because they want to fix them. So in essence, they're kind of, I'm not putting a bad word out there, but like they're kind of like the most broken of people, but they are aware enough to want to, you know, work on themselves. And so I kind of look at my coaches and therapists and trip sitters and whatnot through the same lens of, you know, they are attracted to medicine and doing medicine work because this is something that they want to work on themselves. And so a lot of it, I think, has to do with self-worth. So I know a lot of people in this space who they're like overqualified, they're overtrained. Like, you do not need 10 different certifications for the same thing under your belt before you get started. So it's like talking to people about like those type of beliefs and mindsets.
It almost sounds like what you're doing is actually coaching.
You know what's really funny, Ellen? So somebody said that to me, oh, you're like a coach. And like, it was like maybe 6 months ago or something. I'm like, no, I'm not a coach. I was like, so resistant to it. I'm like, no, that's not what I do. But then it's like, oh crap, yes, I guess so. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because you're totally, it's like the word consultancy totally applies, because there are tangible and tactical things, I feel like, that you are, you know, like strategic things that you're kind of teaching and learning and kind of guiding them through doing. But so much of what you're describing right now, and I feel it too, because Sam and I literally just had this conversation today. I was just like, this past Wednesday, working with a transpersonal energy healer, Maxine Dillon, who we've also had on our podcast recently. And I had no idea what was going to come up for me. And in that session, it was all around self-worth, like feeling unworthy to ask for commitment of time and money and energy from my clients. And so that was like the crux of, I mean, that was like really the core of what we were working on that day, completely subconscious and unbeknownst to me that was what was going to come through. And so what you're describing, people who want to come into this healing space, I mean, it's like, as you're talking, like I feel it in my body, like, oh, that's you. That's totally you. You know? Oh my goodness. And so, I mean, I can't stress enough how much you are needed in this space, and from the perspective that you're coming at it from. But how do you get around, I guess, the fear of the legality too, you know, of all of this kind of medicine?
I think first, I recognize that I'm very privileged and blessed to be from Vancouver, Canada, where I dub the psychedelic capital of Canada, because that is where, like, you know, Greenpeace and all that kind of started too, right? So like the whole cannabis wave, before it was even legalized federally in 2018, we already had cannabis dispensaries operating for like 10 years, I think.
Wow. And I didn't know that.
So even now, Yeah, we're pretty hippy dippy out there. So even now we have, I think I connected to like 7 or 10, either psychedelic dispensaries or psychedelic assisted therapy clinics in Vancouver. So we're pretty open, and the authorities have, from my understanding, issued a public statement to say that they're not going to be prosecuting or pursuing psychedelic anything related to psychedelics. They have bigger fish to fry, like actual narcotics and like gang violence. So I'm very fortunate to be from a city like that. But I also recognize in maybe like in the Midwest or something like that in the US, like that's not their reality. And so with the clients that I work with, most of them are coaches, right? And they don't actually, or if they do, they don't tell me, which is great because I don't want to know. They don't. Like, yeah, it's on a need to know basis. They don't sell the medicine. So what they're doing is strictly just coaching for preparation or integration. They might trip sit. And even then, it's like we make sure on their website they have a disclaimer to say that they do not endorse, or sell illegal substances and stuff like that. So we have it like we have to cover their ass like that.
Okay. Yeah, that was my biggest question. Sense. Yeah. Because even as somebody who, like I know that where my journey is, and I think Sam is very much kind of like in the same space as me. I know that I'm even like planning a sacred mushroom medicine ceremony for Asian women. And, I don't know when it's going to actually happen, but I just feel such a tug to do that right now. And I, was going to approach it as something that was very word of mouth and just, DM'd, like directly to people rather than actually announcing it publicly. And I'm just, part of that was also like, how do I get around just even the idea of procurement and things like that? And I don't know, it was something where I was feeling a little bit of that resistance and that stickiness. So I was really curious how you handled that.
I'm pretty much at arm's length away from the actual medicine. I only procure for myself. And so I don't have to worry about that other aspect of it. But I mean, there are definitely legal groups out there. I know a few. One is the Plant Medicine Law Group, I believe, that's based in New York. I also have a contact. He practices both Canadian and New York law, and specializes in psychedelics. Psychedeliclaw.ca. His name is Mark Goldberg, and he's also been very helpful to us as well. And one of the things I was going to say was, helping the people in our space kind of relieve themselves of these limiting beliefs, or really just like support them through whatever business goals that they have. I realized that, hey, I really wanted to, scratching my own itch, I really want to talk to other entrepreneurs in the space. And I feel like all of the community groups, the chats and whatnot that I'm part of, no one talks about this. Like literally nobody talks. I don't know why. And so I just put it out there to be like, hey, I need some people to bounce these ideas off of. And no one's doing it right now. So are you interested? And I ended up getting a lot of demand and like just replies back to like, yes, I'd be interested in being in a sharing circle and things like that. And so what came out of that was actually the Psychedelic Business Mastermind, which we literally just wrapped up last week. So it morphed into this 6-week program where I ran 2 groups. And we all decided on one specific business goal that we were going to complete within the 6 weeks. And wow, so much more came out of that than just, us executing on our goals. It was like connection, camaraderie, helping each other, lots of tears actually in the groups, which I found really interesting because it's like the amount of, or like the kind of variety of limiting beliefs or like fears and resistance, and like just how tired everybody is, of doing a million things plus one. It's like, yes, we need this support group for each other. We need to be connecting, and we need to be cheerleading each other on to whatever we're going to be putting out there in the universe.
The shine theory. I'm all about the shine theory. What was, out of curiosity, an example of a goal that you went into one of those groups with?
One of my goals, or one of the goals?
One of the business goals that your shared goals with the group.
my shared goals with the group. For me, I really wanted to not rebrand, but like redo the copy on one of my websites. And I was on track to do that. And then for Sisters in Psychedelics, things just got really rolling on there. And so I had to kind of switch gears. But for example, some of the other members in the cohorts, a lot of people were like launching their websites. I think at that time that was just like the season to be doing it or something. And so like getting the copyright, making sure that they know how to use the technology, and just like getting feedback on, hey, is it clear what I'm doing, or do I need to switch this up?
Wow,
somebody launched, right? Yeah. Somebody launched their own podcast in the 6 weeks that we were together.
Wow.
Yeah, bunch of things.
So it sounds like everybody kind of came together, had their own goals, and it became sort of almost like a place to incubate their ideas and to hit some ideas off of each other.
Yeah, with some like coaching and mentoring even, which is rad. Because that, like, imagine how many like shared skills are in that group.
Yeah.
That can just be cross-pollinated as you're supporting each other. I love that idea.
Thank you. Yes, that was exactly the idea behind it. It's like literally, let's meet in small groups so we can like expand our circle. We can help each other, elevate one another, and also like keep each other accountable. It's like, hey, the thing that you said you're going to do last week, did you do it? Because like, you're going to update us next week.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just love this so much. It's like, in a lot of ways, Sam and I kind of work in a vacuum of two. It's like us just sort of hitting things up against each other. And we have a common goal, which definitely helps. But like, yeah, to be able to just, also come into community with others who are sort of service-minded and, all kind of collectively connected by their belief in this medicine too. It's so powerful. I'm actually curious, are you going to be launching that again? Or is that something that you're going to be releasing in sort of like timed phases?
Yeah, so we were, because it was so well received the first time around, and we actually had a lot more people apply than we were able to take on. So we just kind of like kept them on a wait list for now. And we were thinking about doing it every quarter, because when we launched in early April, it just so happened to tie in with like the spring season. And so we're like, oh, let's do summer and fall and winter and like, just follow the seasons. But then upon further consideration, it's like, well, during the summertime, people just want to like have fun. So like maybe let's just maybe we could do like something on a less intense or smaller scale through the summer, and then in the fall, probably like September, October, something, we'll probably start back up again.
Oh my
So
God.
cool.
I
That makes
know.
me so curious about your Sisters in Psychedelics group too, because I think that is also a space that just like neat, where people are really seeking connection and community.
Oh yes, 100%. So here's our origin story. So it's like we're still pretty grassroots, I have to say. So we launched last November, like in the same month that I launched the podcast. And my co-founder Dana Harvey and I met earlier that summer, and every time we were talking, I was just like, yeah, I want to find a community for just women in the psychedelic space, and there wasn't nothing locally anyways. And so we got together and we put together this like meetup group, and yeah, in the November we had our first meetup, and it literally was 15 people or ladies showing up to my apartment, bringing a potluck dinner, and we were just chatting and connecting and sharing stories over how psychedelics positively impacted our lives.
Wow.
So cool.
So yeah, so that's how it happened. And then we both of us were just like, yeah, like we'll just do like monthly events, it'll be fine, we'll keep it going type thing. But then like the interest just poured in, and so like monthly turned into bi-weekly, and now we have weekly events where we have like BIPOC sharing circles. We have an in-person women's only, it's actually Vancouver's first women's only integration circle. We have a psychedelic professionals sharing circle, and then every month we also do like a little workshop. So last month it was childhood recollection and how we can use that to identify our trauma and also release release ourselves of that. And this week, it's all about conscious dreaming. So how can we have more control over dreams and even lucid dream? And then how do we manifest, what we want in our dreams into our daily life? So that's happening June 1st, that I'm super, super excited about because
that sounds
right?
like so up my alley. That's so
right,
amazing.
Yeah.
Is this still localized to Vancouver, or have you kind of opened it up to virtual?
Yeah. So we launched as Vancouver Women in Psychedelics, and literally last month we rebranded to Sisters in Psychedelics because we recognize that, hey, like, let's not be the world's best kept secret. And like, why are we only serving the Vancouver market? Like, there's women around the world who, and this is where I'm coming from. It's like, I'm not really able to talk to my close friends at home or even my family members about me doing psychedelics. It's just not something that's very accepted. And so where can I go where it's a safe place for me to open up about and tell people of my psychedelic journeys and what I've learned and all the growth and healing that I've been through in this group. And so it's like, hey, if there's people like me out there, like, that's around the world. That's not just local to Vancouver. And so, yeah, most of our, like, I would say half of our events are virtual. So all the sharing circles are virtual. Just the workshop, which I want to start going virtual or at least hybrid on that because there are very interesting events. That and the integration circle for women only, that those two are in person.
Okay, awesome. I'm like chomping at the bit to join every single one of these things that you've like created.
I know, me too. I mean, it's like, when can I book a flight to Vancouver? I'm so excited that you offer things online too.
Yeah, thank you. I definitely appreciate all the support for sure. But yes, for anybody, for you too, for sure, please join our meetup group. That's definitely free. And for anyone else who's listening that's interested, please join. We literally just had somebody from France join yesterday, and 2 days ago, a woman from Korea. So we're definitely expanding out to the global markets. Yeah, super excited about that. And I guess one of the really exciting things that's happening is in September, we are launching our first, I might be a bit bold to say this, but I think the world's first for women by women psychedelic conference in Vancouver, BC in September 10th.
Oh my gosh. So it'll be a live conference.
Yes, it will be a hybrid. So because it's our first one, we really wanted to keep it as simple as possible. So I think our max in person is 125, and then we're going to live stream it. So for everybody else who wants to join, like, you can definitely be a part of that too.
Oh, I love it so much.
Yes, but you two should definitely fly up to Vancouver.
I'm like marking all these things. Like, all right, here we are.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. I'm like, I don't even know how to like formulate all these questions because I'm just sitting here feeling really inspired by everything that you're motivated to create, and just even some of the things that I've personally been feeling into lately in like I was kind of sharing before, like supporting specifically Asian women in ancestral work in conjunction with the sacred mushroom and things like that. There's everything that you're doing is just so needed, and I just so appreciate that you're really helping those of us who are, wanting to bring our medicine out into the world, but have been so focused on becoming, very, very like heart-led facilitators that the business side has just like sort of fallen, kind of to the background. And like to have somebody like you be an advocate and also really, it's like, I mean, I just keep on seeing the word coach, like be that coach that sort of like, you can do it kind of, and like, and really hold us and these people to the fire, so to speak, to really kind of have more of a balanced approach because, I think sometimes business in these like sort of spiritual or wellness spaces gets to become sometimes a little bit like, ooh, are they just doing this to make money, or are they like, really, is this really a heart-led mission, and then you have to really smell it out and like feel it out, but the business part is just so important. And to your earlier point about energy or money being energy, it's just, I think, I'm coming into a deeper relationship with money and just a more friendly relationship where I'm asking money to teach me and to like come in as, kind of like like any other energy that I would connect to, like a tree, a flower, a guide or whatever, and just allowing money to sort of be in my life in a supportive way versus this like resistant, like you represent bad things kind of, or you represent greed kind of way. And I don't know, I don't have a question. I just have to say how just, I love everything you're doing.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me. I was going to say, well, money is made of paper and papers are from trees.
Right. That's true.
That's a good point. That's
true.
I just don't know which tree. We'll have to Google that.
I mean, I'm honestly, with everything that you're doing, so impressed that you're even able to like allocate time to really helping coach people into like through building their businesses in that way, and still doing all these support groups and like all of connecting all these communities. Like it's just like you have really followed the calling, and it's just it's so inspirational.
Thank you. Thanks,
it
Sam.
really is.
One of the things that I think Ellen, I told you last time, but I don't know when or how or anything like that, but one of my goals is I want to help connect the East to the West in terms of psychedelics. So it's like, we've had so much research and trials and, all this understanding about psychedelic medicine and its healing potentials that does not exist in the East. Mm-hmm. And because I'm from that lineage, I'm from that line, I definitely want to be bringing it back to the, ancestor land. I just have no idea how I'm going to do that. I was having a conversation with a friend earlier today about how, so I speak both Cantonese and Mandarin. My parents are from Hong Kong, and I haven't come out of the psychedelic closet to them yet. Because I don't know how. The words do not exist in Chinese.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're totally right. Or it's just poison or something. You know what I mean? Like so, that's what I hear in my head.
Exactly. Yeah. The psychedelic, like the closest thing to psychedelics in Chinese is hallucinogen, and that has a super negative connotation to it. And also, it's like the names of all the medicine. Like I don't even know. Like, what is ayahuasca in Chinese? Or what is LSD, right? Like, it doesn't exist. But I'm thinking, hey, like traditional Chinese medicine, we use a lot of herbs. We use a lot of mushrooms. I'm sure there is some sort of psychedelic, herb out there. Yeah. And like, I don't know. I tried Googling again, but like nothing's come up. But I think there is a word for magic mushrooms. I think I found that recently.
Really? Can you say it in Mandarin?
Xiaojun.
Xiaojun.
It's like laughing children almost. What it
my goodness. I had no idea. Wow. Oh my God. I don't know why. I just like totally opened my heart up.
That's good. That's good.
That's such a perfect description of them.
Yeah. Los Santos Niños, right? Yeah. And I like for sure, I know they use marijuana in their, stuff. It's like, I think I don't know, somehow maybe they took the THC component out, but like for sure for numbing and things like that, they've used it in their medicinal tinctures and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like this calling also, like I know that the path forward isn't clear yet, but just even that desire, that calling that you're feeling, I definitely feel it too. And for me, I just feel it first from the, like, especially like daughters of immigrants, daughters of Asian immigrants, and almost starting from where we are here, in the West, those who are in just the Asian diaspora, like who have been displaced from the motherland, and really starting to heal the intergenerational trauma in the children of immigrants, and allowing that to kind of like grow essentially or spread from that point. But you're so right. There just needs to be consciousness, I think. And I think so much of this is also about, as I think psychedelic and entheogenic work actually fundamentally is just about decolonization. And so I feel like even the oppression, like of some of these traditional ideals and patriarchal ideals from, the motherland also, it just, yeah, it's all needing to be unraveled and really investigated. So yeah, keep that fire burning, because I'm right there with you.
Thank
It's
you.
so interesting what you just said, actually, too, Elle, which I never thought about in this way until just now, which is that as children of immigrants, there's actually, it's dual, you're working with like two sets of conditioning, really. That it's like unlearning two sets of conditioning while preserving like what the love in them, the the ancestry that is healing in it,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And that is a really fascinating cross section that I'm shocked, actually, that I never actually really put together until just now. So thank you for saying that. I'm going to sit with that for a while.
Yeah, I think it's just really, I think that's where the sort of identity crisis kind of comes in for a
Yeah.
lot of us who grow up in these, you know, like away from the motherland, or you have your culture at home, you know, with your parents who speak a certain language. Like for me, Mandarin was my first language. And then you're in school in these Western schools learning English and being with these, you know, for us, like American cultures and stuff. And it's such a divergent juxtaposition that as a kid, I think growing up in those conditions, you're extra confused, you know, like
Yeah.
I didn't know where my, you know, my Chinese self started and my American self ended, or, you know, or like, and then where even Christianity, like how religion factored into all of those things too. It was
Yeah.
like so confusing for
And
me.
then getting so much pressure from both sides, right?
Right.
Not being Chinese enough at home, not being American enough with your friends and your peers, and feeling that pull in both directions.
Right.
And then add dating to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Girls, it's been so hard.
Oh my God. Yeah. Of course. Yes, exactly.
It's like there's so much to unpack there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always tell people that it's like, okay, when you look at me, because I'm fully Chinese, right? You kind of maybe have a certain, I don't know, stereotype or impression or something, but really you should treat me like I'm a halfie, because that's really culturally, that's what I am. I take some from the North American culture that I truly believe in and feel aligned to. And then I take some from the Eastern tradition and culture. And so I'm just this weird mix. And even with other people, I don't know if you found this too, Elle, in your friends group and whatnot, but like even with the other Asian Americans or Asian Canadians that I know, the mix of the different cultures are different too.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. It's like we're like this intersectionality gets to be really, really like, you know, I think important, right? Like looking at all these different cultures, like not lumping them all together as one thing,
Right.
you know, just because of the color of your skin or the way you look. But yeah, it's like there's so much nuance in that. 1,000%. I totally agree. And it just to bring it even back to psychedelics, I think that's why this medicine is so important, because it is a decolonizing medicine, and it really does bring you back down to the essence of who you are. And I think, you know, all the labels that we put on ourselves and all the things that have conditioned us throughout our lives start to kind of melt away, or, you know, kind of get disarmed. And then we get to see ourselves truly like who we are at a soul level, you know?
Right.
And so that's why I believe in this medicine so much too. And I know we have like a little bit of time left, but I'm so excited to hear a little bit more about your recent trip to Oaxaca.
Yes.
And going into Maria Sabina's, I think you worked with people descendant from her lineage, right? On a sacred mushroom journey.
Yes. So let me back up. So yes, it's in the state of Oaxaca in Mexico, and the town, there's actually two towns that's known for magic mushrooms. One is San Jose de Pacifico, and the other one, which is the one that I went to, which is the hometown of Maria Sabina, is Huautla. And they're all like the tribe is called the Mazatecs. So the Mazatecans are there. And the shaman or the Mistra that I work with, Mistra Yasmin, she is actually not from the bloodline of Maria Sabina. However, I believe her mother or her grandmother was in the same circle, like the female shamanic circle as Maria Sabina. So I think their practices differ just slightly. But yeah, we hiked up to the mountain where the retreat center was, and we stayed there overnight. And then on the way back down, we were able to take a tour of the Maria Sabina Museum. And I'm going to use the word museum very lightly because it really is like, it's their home. And they just have like clothing and pictures and paintings and artifacts that Maria Sabina used before. And unfortunately, what I'm told is the people of her bloodline, they don't really do the shamanistic practices. So most of them just they man the museum and do other things. But my ceremony in general was pretty good. It really wasn't what I was expecting, and maybe like time and time again, I'm just reminded of like, just stop expecting things. What are you doing? You just gotta go in with no expectations, And but what I really wanted, I didn't end up getting, but what I really wanted was like, I wanted to have like a hero dose under her watch and see what messages I get. And it was a private ceremony with just a few friends, and I still ended up having some messages come through, just not as much or as deep as I'd like. So this is my first mushroom ceremony ever. I've done mushrooms on my own before, but my first in ceremony. And, it was very ritualistic in the way that we light each candle, and each one represents all of like the dirty things in us that we're trying to, clear away. And she was singing, traditional Mazatecan songs of healing the whole entire like 4 hours or 6 hours that we were tripping out. And she very intuitively gave you the amount of magic mushrooms to ingest. And she told us, and she told us, so I don't even know how much I took. So she told us, this is not comida, this is not food. This is medicine. So do not chew with your molars, but with your front teeth, and as slow as possible. If it takes you 2 hours to finish what's in your bowl, then so be it. That's fine. And so I took that to heart, and that's what I did. I was like the last person that was chewing. And I just remember I took the Mexican or the Oaxacan magic mushrooms are really small. They're not like big ones. They're like, they're small and like long. The stem's really long. And, and I remember I was like, just finished my second mushroom, and everybody else was already finished, and they like lied down on their yoga mats with the blanket above their head, and I'm just like, I'm not even a third done. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah. I was like, did I not get the memo? Like what's happening? Like, did you just give me a lot? Like what? Yeah, I didn't understand. So anywho, I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to concentrate on me. And I finally finished eating, but maybe like 75% through, I felt it kick in. And so I like went backwards. And there were 3 kind of main themes that came through for me. And one was, I saw a bunch of snakes in my vision on my journey. And I've never been in real life close to any snakes before. So I have no idea how I would feel even, or if I was scared of them or anything like that. But so many different snakes, various breeds and colors and stuff like that. And then eventually I turned into a serpent. Like I became a snake myself. And that didn't scare me in the least, because my Chinese zodiac is the serpent. And so I'm like, oh, that's very befitting. Like I've always been told, these type of predictions and stuff my whole life. So I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, I identify with that. And the fact that I had to look this up after, but the spirit animal of a snake is all about like rebirth, right? And transformation and transition. And the fact that we're very instinctual, very primal, because our belly is so close to the ground, right? Like we're close in that contact. And the fact that, snakes shed their skin like 2 to 4 times a year. So it's like, they're very adaptable to, their environment. And I 100% identify with that. And so I'm like, okay, that's a good thing. And then the next animal that came through was one singular giant wolf spider.
Oh, whoa.
And I'm scared of spiders. And I'm just like, oh my God, what's happening? Because like in my Aya ceremony, like more than a whole year ago, at the very beginning, you know how they talk about like shamanic deaths? So you somehow die and before, you're cleansed and then like you kind of, shoot up to like bliss and things like that. And so in my Aya ceremony, there were like cockroaches and like spiders and ants and like all these like creepy crawlies that I didn't like eating my body alive in my mind, and I couldn't do a single thing. Like I couldn't move, I couldn't talk. I was just completely paralyzed. And that was the last time I saw a spider like that. So this time around, it was one single one. I'm just like, okay, I don't think you're going to eat me, but I don't like looking at you because you're not pretty. So, I'm like, so what I'm going to do is I'm like, in my mind's eye, I'm just going to put you behind me so I don't see you. And once I did that, there was just like this understanding between me and the spider that like, oh, it's here to support me. It's here. It has my back. It's here to support me. It's here to protect me.
Yeah, spiders are very protective spirit animals. I've had black widows, have been connected to black widows my whole life. Yeah, so I understand the duality there too. Because I also even just got bit by a spider like a couple weeks ago on my arm. Oh, no. I was like, really, only I could get bit by a spider.
Maybe it's injecting some blessing into your body,
Yeah.
I
like who knows? So what did you do after that?
So once we had that that understanding of, oh, it's here to protect me, it went away. And again, I was looking at the spiritual animal meaning of a spider, and I think they specifically had one for a wolf spider. I forget what the difference is between the other spiders, but it definitely was like creativity and protection, and also like waiting for the right time in terms of like patience. Either it's now the time's to pounce because you have an opportunity, or you're waiting for the right time because a spider, you can imagine it in the web and it's patiently waiting for like, the food to come and get entangled, right? And so I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And what I found out was both the spider and the snake, they're female animals, or like they embody the feminine energy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's super cool.
Yeah. And then the next theme that came through was just this message of, allowing others to love you, even if you don't return the love to that degree.
Wow, that's profound.
Yeah, that's super profound.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but it came to me. I'm like, okay, cool. And the last theme I can't quite remember at the moment, but I remember a lot of it was, so she said, when you're ingesting the mushroom, to like chew it with your front teeth instead of the molar, and the whole time, like think about your intention. And honestly, my intention, pretty lame. So my intention was, show me what I seek. And I don't know what I'm seeking, but just show it to me anyways. And so that kind of turned into me just being grateful for people in my life and for the things that I've experienced and for the things I have. Wow. And when the mushrooms kicked in, the third theme was basically me sending love and light and forgiveness to people who are near and dear to me, specifically my family and to my parents and all that, to really just kind of give up this hold on trauma that I experienced when I was a child.
Right.
That's super powerful too.
Yeah. That sounds like it was incredible. Did your journey last longer than everyone else's because you ate the mushrooms slower?
No, I don't think so. She came around asking if anybody wanted seconds, and I said yes, and she like doubted me. She's like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah." And she only gave me a little bit, so I wasn't able to blast off to space. But no, I think we pretty much all ended around the same time. I remember talking to my friend about her experience, And I mean, she just had downloads on every single aspect of her life and was shown to like what to do, how to do it, when to do it, with who, all that type of stuff.
Whoa.
And this was her first ceremony. This is like her first intentional use of psychedelics.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was so jealous. I was like, what? You were shown like 15 different things and I only had 3. I'm like, what the heck? And but then, being the personal growth and healing person that we are, I'm like, you know what? Like, my purpose was probably to bring her here so that she can have all these downloads.
Yeah. And even for you, like the having fewer messages in itself is a message, right?
Right.
Like something to sit with. But I also wonder, like, okay, here's my little Western brain talking in the background, which is like, I also wonder if she got more downloads and hers was maybe a little bit more intense because she ingested them faster.
Yeah.
In a shorter span of time.
I'm not sure about that. I know that she had a lot of things on her mind.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, God, I love the mushrooms. They're just such sentient beings, you know? It's like they really, like, they don't just mix with your energy. They are alive in such a different way. And it's like they're communicating with your soul so deeply in every journey.
Also, I really think that journey envy is a thing.
Yes.
I really feel like that needs to be a term that is coined and studied, because I totally agree. It's like there's a little, and I think this is kind of like our patriarchal sort of colonistic conditioning where it's like, you had a better experience than I did, and yet what you're given. Mind. Yeah, it's a comparison thing, right? And but B, I think what you were sort of recounting, the animals that came through for you, and just even these messages, it's like to allow yourself to be loved, even if you don't necessarily reciprocate in the same way. Like, that's some powerful shit. That like, I
that's
actually
a deep
feel
journey insight for sure.
Yeah, I actually feel like your intention really was. What's like not completed, but it was like it came to fruition. Like I feel like you were given what you were asking for, what you asked for, even though it didn't come through in the way you probably imagined it to be. Because I think we always like want to have like the answer, like I need to know the time, the date, the like the specifics. And I think part of the mysteriousness or the mystery of like what you were given is the answer, to like sit with it and to not know, and it's okay to not know, and to just to like feel into it, what I mean?
It's a practice of trust.
Yeah, which 100%. I find so beautiful.
Yeah, one that reminds me of in my Aya journey in Mexico as well, in last March. One of the really, really strong downloads that I had was you don't, because I think I'll speak for myself here. But I think most people are also like, we just want to know, right? We just want to know, so we don't, I don't know, get thrown for a surprise, or like we don't fail, we don't, whatever the heck it is. But one of the messages that was brought to me was like, you already know because you create your reality.
Yep.
Like if you want X, Y, Z to happen, you can totally make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I love that. I've never actually heard that spoken in that way before. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I keep on receiving this surrender and just, allow yourself to be carried, and, whatever's coming to you is meant to be, and not that, but like to know already and have it be connected to the way in which you create your reality. I mean, that is actually really profound. I want to sit with that for a little bit.
I know there's so much here that I'm going to be thinking about for a long time.
Yeah.
I know.
This is amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing everything. It's just so grateful and so timely, this message and this conversation is happening. I think as Sam and I are kind of moving into this next phase of our business and our offerings, and just as we grow as facilitators and healers and stewards of the medicine too, it's like, I think this is everything that I know I personally needed to receive today. So thank you for that.
Wow, thank you, ladies, for listening to me talk and for sharing your own stories as well, and connecting with me. I really appreciate, more women to the space. Absolutely. And if there's anything that Sisters in Psychedelics can, do in terms of partnering, collaborating with We Are All Daughters, like I'd be happy to, discuss further. That. Yeah.
Yeah. I was already going to be
much.
Like, we got to talk after this for sure.
Yes.
Where can people find you?
Oh, where can they find me? Let's see. Well, I recently reactivated my LinkedIn profile, so I'm going to be building that. You can find me at Beachan, Beachan. And Sisters in Psychedelics on Instagram, or our website, sistersinpsychedelics.org. Yeah.
Awesome. We're also going to have...
wait to share this.
Yeah, we're going to have a list of your links also.
Yes, I'll definitely send all that out.
Awesome. Thank you so, so much. This has been such a joy and a pleasure.
Yeah, so grateful.
Yeah.
The pleasure's all mine. Seriously, ladies.
Music for Woo New is composed by Adam Miller.